Beautiful people, a pleasant evening to you. So, I'm kind of going through the news and looking at the saga with the 39-year-old man who who was said to rape a 9-year, sorry, not it is assumed or alleged that he had molested sexually the 9-year-old, and then her body was found in a barrel. But prior to that, in 2011 or 2012, he was arrested and charged for molesting a relative of his sexually, and he was only given 3 years sentence and then released. God is angry with the world, because we seem to not just be a rebellious set of people. You see, this don't care, not holding people accountable in a serious way, it is going to be the demise of many. And that is why you see some people, they go through a diatribe in life. It's like everything that they touch turns to ashes, turns to trash. It's a curse upon them because of things that they subscribe to, because of the things that they uphold, they second, they support. And a number of these creatures get away with murder. Figuratively, I'm saying it figuratively and literally. They get away with it. Now, for a man like that, who was charged, listening to the news, because when I brought up the thing, it brought up the news that was played some days ago, and said that he was charged in 2012. Because usually when you find that somebody does something, 9 out of 10 times it is a repeated act. It's not necessarily a first time, especially in situations such as rape and murder and whatnot. They're generally not first time when they're caught. And this man was charged and sentenced to 3 years for sexually molesting his cousin, female cousin, 12-year-old child. He was released 3 years later. I don't know what rehabilitation people thought would have happened in the 3 years. I don't know if they feel that the prison system is a rehabilitation center. As far as I know, it is not. It is not. They only probably deteriorate mentally. So very few people, when they realize that their freedom is taken away and the punishment is too much, seldom do they change or transform for the better. That's just a handful of people who you may see change because they realize they can't handle the consequences. But for the most part, that is why you have the recidivism, meaning people go back into the prison system because it is not a rehabilitation center, so they don't change. So I don't know why people would think automatically because they're locked away for a few years. 3 years for, I consider rape, molestation, those things, snatching almost the soul from the person. So it's like you have murdered the individual. So I don't know how he would just get 3 years for something of the sort. So he's released, and then I guess some time pass and he waits to come in for the kill, literally and figuratively. He waits, and it is alleged that he molested the 9-year-old girl, and then I guess he annihilated her, he killed her, murdered her in cold blood, and her body was found in a barrel. The family members who sit and laugh and kiki, they need to lock every last one of you up too. You remind me of the people. Let me tell you who you remind me of. You remind me of the people in workplaces and churches, or churches and workplaces, who psychologically and emotionally murder people. And then you have the watchers, the people the passerbys who laugh with the murderers, who laugh with the whitewashed sepulchres. And as a matter of fact, they help to trample on the victim. They help to trample on the victim. You are no different from those people. Whilst they may not physically create harm, in terms of the literal sense of the physical, like a combative physical attack. But their psychological and verbal and emotional abuse can affect the person physically and put them in a similar fate, as in they are taken out of the earth. There are books that I've read where people end up being on medication because of people's psychological and emotional and verbal abuse in the workplaces. And these things happen in the churches as well. So these people who sit and laugh with a rapist and a murderer like that fellow, you're no different from them. You need to read the book of Ezekiel. Is it Ezekiel somewhere in the 30s or the watchman? Just put up Ezekiel about the watchman and you read that particular chapter. And woe be unto the one who sees the person doing wrong and do not warn them. The blood is on your shoulder. So nobody feels say you're scotch-free. Nobody feels say you're in the victim and the innocent line. You are not. You're in the guilty, the perpetrator line. Yeah. Because you've supported the perpetrators. You're like the people who said, give us the murderer and the rapist, Barabbas, and crucify the best being ever. Crucify the flawless one. Crucify the blemished free one. Crucify the one who is loving and kind and caring and gentle. That even I'm sure that if you were to question Barabbas, he would say, them are people here, me no want have nothing to do with them. Them are wicked. Because imagine me are wicked and I me them ask for spear and I him them sentence to death. Them are people are wicked and evil. And me no probably no want a part of him. I'm sure that he must have toyed with that kind of a high thinking. That must have been, something that he battled with within. So the families and the friends and all of that, you were familiar. You knew what this man was capable of. He was capable of this and he was let loose among children. After he was released, he was let loose. Nobody shunned him from the community because you figured, after 3 years, you think it's a rehabilitation center, these prisons? Did they tell you it's a rehabilitation center? Did you check the psyche of the man, the mental state of the man to know? And because he may come home pious for the first 2 days, you think that he's a transfer? You think it is? Let me tell you something, people. People don't just change like that or transform. It has to be the Holy Spirit. And it has to break you to build you. It's like you tear down an entire foundation and wall and then you rebuild it. That is how people change. Outside of harsh experiences, rough and challenging experiences over a long period, because it has to be extended so that it solidifies in the mind. It's like when they say Rome wasn't built in a day, it has to be anchored in the mind so that you don't go back and do what you used to do. So that you don't go. It can't be a little 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years. It doesn't work like that. And you people sit and allowed this fellow to come back into the community to wreak havoc. Damaged lives, young lives that may never, and I use the word may, never be the same. It will never be the same in either way, whether good or bad. And then I sit and laugh and drink tea and kick up on a foot and kick up rumpus and then talk about this man and them need to hunt the whole on down and lock on up. Every last one of you people, you are cruel and evil just like he is, because you knew what he was capable of and what he's capable of, and you allowed him in the circle, you allowed him in the space, you allowed the canker worm, the sore, you allow the poison, the venom to come in. You think say me could have known say somebody is like for sure, that person couldn't even tell me hello. That person could not be comfortable and it has nothing to do with forgiveness or so. Please don't come with that. I'm talking about them not being held accountable, that person not being held accountable for what they are doing or what they had done. The whole on need for lock up. Anyway, guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. in one of those lines.